On March 6, 2021, Anastasia Lermontova was supposed to turn 17, but the celebration quickly turned into a tragedy. She was stabbed 59 times. The next day, police in Novosibirsk found her lifeless body in an apartment on the 18th floor. There wasn't a single clean spot on her body. The entire apartment was covered in blood. The killer turned out to be her 19-year-old boyfriend, Fedor Kizhin. He was high when he killed her with a kitchen knife. After the murder, he took more drugs and fell asleep in the same apartment. When he sobered up, he tried to run. He got into a car crash, hitched another ride, but was eventually caught. Investigators say it started with a fight at home. Fedor demanded money from Anastasia to buy drugs, but people online think otherwise. Many believe the real trigger was a tweet Anastasia posted not long before it happened. It went viral, and maybe it was the last straw. But let's start from the beginning. Anastasia Lermontova grew up in Novosibirsk. Her father had passed away before the tragedy, and her mother raised her alone. She went to school there in the city. Friends remember her as an open, emotional girl who loved music, especially rap. At that same school, she met Fedor Kizhin. He was 2 years older. They started dating when she was 15 and he was 17. According to people who knew them, Fedor's parents were well off and often bought him whatever he wanted. He did well in school and seemed like a normal, responsible guy. And judging by Fedor's appearance and behavior, no one could have guessed he was using drugs. He seemed cheerful and easygoing, liked spending time with friends, and of course with his new girlfriend. At 16, Fedor tried alcohol for the first time, but later moved on to drugs. Later, he got involved with a shady crowd where they also used drugs. They often argued because of his addiction. Anastasia kept asking him to stop using drugs. Over time, Fedor began to have mental issues because of the drugs. He became withdrawn and anxious, had trouble sleeping and focusing, and his grades started to drop. He failed his exams, and the dream of getting into college was gone. Before that, his parents had offered to send him to rehab, but he refused. After failing his exams, though, Fedor finally agreed. The rehabilitation center he went to turned out to be a problem itself. 5 people there were charged with criminal offenses, and there were other serious issues as well. Because of that, Fedor left the rehab program and went back home. He told his parents he had gotten rid of his addiction and wanted to start over. He asked them to rent him an apartment and pay for it for a year or 2 until he could get back on his feet. Fedor's parents agreed, but on one condition: he had to find a job. He barely agreed. In the fall of 2020, he got a job as a cashier at a supermarket called Magnet. He didn't like his job and often complained about it online. "I hate this job. It's for losers," Fedor once told a friend. Sometime later, Anastasia decided to live separately, and she moved into her boyfriend's apartment, a rented apartment on the 18th floor of a high-rise building on Menjinsky Street in Novosibirsk, shortly before the tragedy. People who knew her said everyone tried to bring her back home. She was always welcome there. But she was stubborn and didn't want to return. At that time, Anastasia was in her first year of college. After finishing it, she planned to go to university. For a while, things between them seemed calm. But then Fedor relapsed, and everything changed. In their relationship, he was abusive, yelling, hitting, and taking the money her parents gave her. Anastasia wrote about it openly in the internet. Anastasia's friend described him this way: "He's complete trash as a person. All the gold jewelry and phones kept ending up in pawn shops for his next fix. People told Anastasia to leave him or go to the police. But she thought he would change. Fedor wanted to get Anastasia hooked on drugs, and it's possible he actually did. Their relationship kept getting more tense. They would have big fights and then make up again. Anastasia started to realize that their relationship wasn't normal, but she still didn't leave. She posted different memes about it, probably trying to process everything through humor. But honestly, it looked more like a hidden cry for help than just harmless memes. Fedor also used social media and didn't hide the fact that he had addictions. One of Fedor's friends shared, "He was antisocial and a bit weird. It was hard to connect with him. He was a quiet person but still kind and nice, at least toward me. He first started using drugs pretty randomly, said people were just offering him some and that was it. After that, I decided to stop talking to him." On February 14th, instead of a Valentine, I got a death note, Anastasia wrote on Twitter. On March 5th, she tweeted that her boyfriend, while high, had pleased another guy to get money for drugs. That tweet caused a huge stir online and quickly started to blow up. The translation of her tweet is shown on the screen. That very tweet, according to many, could have been the reason for the couple's fight during the night of March 6th. But according to the official version, that day, Fedor was begging Anastasia for money again to buy drugs. She refused. Around 2 a.m., while high, Fedor took a kitchen knife and hid it. When Anastasia tried to hug him, he pulled out the knife and started stabbing her. He stabbed her at least 59 times. There wasn't a single spot on her body left untouched. Neighbors heard what was happening but didn't react. They said the couple fought and made up almost every day, so they had gotten used to the noise. After what he'd done, Fedor took more drugs and fell asleep next to her body. According to his friends, he immediately texted them about what had happened. When he sobered up, he realized what he had done and tried to run. He transferred 3,000 rubles from Anastasia's card to his own account. He took 300 rubles in cash, grabbed a laptop, which he later sold to a store for 7,000, and an iPhone that he pawned afterward. With the money he got, Fedor planned to travel to Kemerovo and meet up with a friend there. In his chats, he also sent this message to someone else, possibly another friend. "Don't repeat my mistakes, and now, goodbye. I really loved you as a friend, but now, there's truly no other way. I killed someone. She took about 5 minutes to die. The knife was dull. I feel really sorry for her mother. She tried to hug me and I had the knife hidden under the blanket." On his way to Kemerovo, the car Fedor was riding in got into an accident. After that, he started trying to hitch a ride. One of the truck drivers agreed to give him a lift, not realizing he was driving a murderer who was already being hunted by police. At the same time, Novosibirsk officers had already responded to a call from Anastasia's friend who had found her body. They quickly identified Fedor as the main suspect and figured out who he was planning to meet in Kemerovo. The police called the girl. The news that Fedor had brutally killed Anastasia shocked her, and she immediately agreed to help. She gave the police photos from the crash that Fedor had sent her and, at their request, arranged to meet him. Not at her place, but near a shopping mall. Fedor showed up, not suspecting anything, and was arrested on the spot. He was then transported back to Novosibirsk. The whole operation to find and capture him took just 4 hours. During questioning, Fedor didn't try to deny anything. He confessed right away. He claimed the motive was a domestic argument, though investigators believed it was more about money. He showed the police the crime scene and described in detail how he committed the murder and what he did afterward. The court placed Fedor in pretrial detention while the investigation continued. The case went to trial in the regional court on November 16, 2021. Fedor was charged under 2 articles of the Russian Criminal Code, Part 2 of Article 105, murder, and Part 4 of Article 162, robbery of valuable property. According to the indictment read in court, it was found that on March 6, 2021, the two had taken drugs together. After that, Fedor stabbed Anastasia multiple times, at least 59 wounds, which caused her death at the scene. After making sure she was dead, Fedor stole cash, her phone, and a laptop worth over 50,000 rubles, then fled. The prosecutor asked the court to sentence him to 18 years in a high-security prison. A psychiatric evaluation showed that Fedor Kizhin had no mental disorders. His addiction didn't prevent him from understanding or controlling his actions. During the trial, Fedor was given a chance to speak, but instead of a heartfelt statement, everyone heard a flat, monotone speech that he read from a piece of paper. I admit my guilt. After an argument, I committed a murder for which I truly repent. I understand that no apology or words can erase the pain I've caused. I never meant to bring her suffering or torment. I do not admit guilt for the robbery charge. The reason for the murder, our argument, was completely different, which I'm ready to explain to the court later, after all case materials are reviewed. Fedor's lawyer argued that his client had become a victim of media hype, which led to charges that were far more severe than what the case materials supported. The final court hearing took place on August 31, 2022. Taking into account mitigating circumstances, his confession, remorse, health issues, and some positive character references, the court sentenced him to 17 years in a high-security prison. The victim's family also filed a claim for compensation, 344,000 rubles for material damages and 10 million rubles for moral suffering. The court granted the claim in full. According to several Russian media outlets, Fedor was released from prison to take part in the war. You know exactly which one. After fighting on the front lines, he got pardoned for joining the military operation. And that's how he got out. Months later, photographs surfaced on the website of the St. Petersburg State Technical University, Vonmag, showing Kizhin among students who had taken part in the war. He even received a certificate of appreciation for his contribution to the defense and security of the country. The news shocked the public. A killer who was considered dangerous to society was supposed to serve another 14 years. But he's already free. And no one knows what's going on in his head now. Honestly, even for me, as someone researching and making this video, it's hard to understand. I'm shocked too. What do you think about this case? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read all of them. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Thanks for watching.